Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody, here in Unity Hall. And we have a couple of folks in the online pews. We're so glad that you are here on the eve of Election 24. We're all here because we are a little frayed around the edges. And so the hope is that by coming together on the eve of this very important day, a moment in our country's history, that we might settle our nerves a little bit, open our hearts a little bit, rest in the communion of this congregation and of this moment as well. So there will be 2 readings. There is going to be a musical meditation after one, a silent meditation after the other. The silent meditation, for those of you who are part of the Sangha that meets here on Tuesdays, will be a walk in the park. It's 8 minutes of silence or so. Others of you just breathe through it. This is not meant to make you more anxious than you were when you walked in the door. There is going to be an image that you can rest your eyes on, but see what happens to your nervous system if you are quiet for that length of time. There will be refreshments afterwards. Janet baked, I baked, Claire brought some goodies, so I hope you'll stay afterwards for the feast. And so we begin, as we always do, with the lighting of our chalice, and Teddy has volunteered to do so. Thank you, Teddy. Come on up. And the chalice lighting is a poem by Kamalia Aisha Moon, and it's called First Vote. It was hers. She had this choice behind curtained bliss. Dad's chest full on the other side as her tapered hand pulled the lever. No matter how wide the final margin, a lone ballot never counted so much. Thank you, Teddy. Thank you. Someday that will be you, Charlie, and Nora, and Teddy. That first ballot. The first poem is going to be read by Charlie Ewers, who so generously has led our poetry circle, our monthly poetry circle. Charlie, thank you, and come on up.
This is a strange setup for me. The poem is called Revolution by Lynn Unger. And in the poem, there's a reference to the test of the 7th generation. When I read the poem, I didn't know what that meant. But the principle of the 7th generation encourages us to consider the impact of our decisions over the next 7 generations. Its origin is credited to the Iroquois. Revolution. You say you want a revolution, and who could argue with that? Bad is avalanching into worse, and we are all in its path. But don't buy a gun. The people you would be fighting already have bigger guns and more will to shoot them. Don't bother arming yourself. Instead, disarm. Disarm yourself of assumptions and of your brittle belief that you know how things should be. Disarm yourself of expectation. You will be wrong. Disarm yourself of the need for comfort. Go lightly into places where you are a stranger. Disarm yourself of loyalty to what is normal but false. Pledge allegiance to the tree outside your window, to your neighbor's children, to the speed of light. Fill your arms with fruit, with flowers, with a dog or a cat or a lover or a mug of hot tea. Fill your body with singing or dancing or the scent of bay trees in the rain. Empty your world of all that fails to serve the revolution, that fails the test of the 7th generation. Commit to the revolution, and I promise we will win. Not, of course, that everything will be fine. It never is. Revolution isn't the same as victory. Revolution is the turning of a wheel whose essence is change. As is our practice, I'll read the poem a second time. Revolution. You say you want a revolution, and who could argue with that? Bad is avalanching into worse, and we are all in its path. But don't buy a gun. The people you would be fighting already have bigger guns and more will to shoot them. Don't bother arming yourself. Instead, disarm. Disarm yourself of assumptions and your brittle belief that you know how things should be. Disarm yourself of expectation. You will be wrong. Disarm yourself of the need for comfort. Go lightly into places where you are a stranger. Disarm yourself of loyalty to what is normal but false. Pledge allegiance to the tree outside your window, to your neighbor's children, to the speed of light. Fill your arms with fruit, with flowers, with a dog or a cat or a lover or a mug of hot tea. Fill your body with singing or dancing or the scent of bay trees in the rain. Empty your world of all that fails to serve the revolution, that fails the test of the seventh generation. Commit to the revolution, and I promise we will win. Not, of course, that everything will be fine. It never is. Revolution isn't the same as victory. Revolution is the turning of a wheel whose essence is change.
The second poem is by Richard Blanco. He wrote the inaugural poem for 2013, which was President Obama's, of course, second inauguration. The poem is called One Today. One sun rose on us today, kindled over our shores, peeking over the Smokies, greeting the faces of the Great Lakes, spreading a simple truth across the Great Plains, then charging across the Rockies. One light, waking up rooftops, under each one a story told by our silent gestures moving behind windows. My face, your face, millions of faces in morning's mirrors, each one yawning to life, crescendoing into our day. Pencil yellow school buses, the rhythm of traffic lights, fruit stands, apples, limes, and oranges arrayed like rainbows, begging our praise. Silver trucks heavy with oil or paper, bricks or milk, teeming over highways alongside us, on our way to clean tables, read ledgers, or save lives, to teach geometry, or ring up groceries as my mother did for 20 years so I could write this poem. All of us as vital as the one light we move through, the same light on blackboards with lessons for the day, equations to solve, history to question, or atoms imagined. The I have a dream, we keep dreaming. Or the impossible vocabulary of sorrow that won't explain the empty desks of 20 children marked absent today and forever. Many prayers, but one light breathing color into stained glass windows, life into the faces of bronze statues, warmth unto the steps of our museums and park benches as mothers watch children slide into the day. One ground, our ground, rooting us to every stalk of corn, every head of wheat sown by sweat and hands. Hands gleaning coal or planting windmills in deserts and hilltops that keep us warm. Hands digging trenches, routing pipes and cables. Hands as worn as my father's, cutting sugar cane so my brother and I could have books and shoes. The dust of farms and deserts, cities and plains mingled by one wind. Our breath. Breathe. Hear it through the day's gorgeous din of honking cabs, buses launching down avenues, the symphony of footsteps, guitars, and screeching subways, the unexpected songbird on your clothesline. Hear squeaky playground swings, trains whistling, or whispers across cafe tables. Hear the doors we open for each other all day, saying, hello, shalom, buongiorno, howdy, namaste, or buenos dias, in the language my mother taught me, in every language spoken into one wind, carrying our lives without prejudice, as these words break from my lips. One sky. Since the Appalachians and the Sierras claimed their majesty, and the Mississippi and the Colorado worked their way to the sea, thank the work of our hands, weaving steel into bridges, finishing one more report for the boss on time, stitching another wound or uniform, the first brush stroke on a portrait, or the last floor on the Freedom Tower jutting into a sky that yields to our resilience. One sky toward which we sometimes lift our eyes, tired from work, some days guessing at the weather of our lives, some days giving thanks for a love that loves you back, sometimes praising a mother who knew how to give, or forgiving a father who couldn't give what you wanted. We head home through the gloss of rain or weight of snow or the plum blush of dusk, but always home. Always under one sky, our sky, and always one moon, like a silent drum, tapping on every rooftop and every window of one country, all of us, facing the stars. Hope, a new constellation, waiting for us to map it, waiting for us to name it together. I invite you into a communion of silence. please join me if you know this song. And if you don't, you'll catch on. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to light of change. There is hurting in my family. There is sorrow in my town. There is panic in the nation. There is wailing the whole world round. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who come before us, so lift me up to the light of change. Let's sing it again. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who come before us, so lift me up to the light of change. And let's hum it. So lift us up to the light of change. Please join me in the communion of prayer. Blessed Spirit of life and of love, in all ways known and named and called upon in moments such as this, our country, sweet land of liberty, of our country we sing. We sing change, we sing hope, we sing compassion, we sing love, always at the center. Let us go into the days ahead, knowing that no matter the outcome, the work remains. Keep our hearts open to the light of change, because to feel hopeless would dishonor those who come before us and would seem so strange. We give thanks for this company, for all the work already done, for the commitment of so many. We give thanks and we say, amen. 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 Those in the online pews. The feast begins. There is lots to eat in the community room, so let us celebrate as a community this opportunity to be together tonight. God bless you all.